hauling hay today. We got the old Deutz Alice out. Well, it's got a Deutz Alice loader on it, and but it is a Deutz fahr tractor. We used to have a Deutz Alice cab tractor, 60 horse, that the 4610 took its place, but this one's an open station. I think it's 55 or something like that, or 50. It's what we usually use up till we've got, I guess you could say, addicted to that 4610 and using it. But that's what we're loading with. I know some of y'all been wanting to see this for a while, and I promised it. And we finally, I've finally gotten away from baling and cutting long enough to where I could actually do some hauling. So there it is. Well, here's the walk around this thing. I had a request for it. It is a Deutz Alice, or Deutz fahr. It was right when they changed back to, or they went to Deutz fahr from Deutz Alice, or Deutz Alice. We say Deutz Alice, but it's a DX 3.50. As you see, it is a Deutz fahr. Well, this particular tractor right here, you can also find the exact same tractor. They look nearly like a carbon copy in an AGCO version. I don't know the numbers on them for the AGCO models, but you can buy this tractor. I have seen them before. They look nearly identical in an AGCO tractor. Used to, you could. It's somewhere around 50-55 horse. I don't know exactly. I knew more about our actual Deutz Alice we had. We had a Deutz Alice cab tractor. I can't remember the numbers on it, but it was a 60 horse, and it was a Deutz Alice. And it was a cab tractor. It had the sticks on the side. That was our main cutting tractor till we got the 4610 that run the regular disc mower all the time for a long time. When we first bought it, it was I think it was a 90 model. It was our bale tractor. It was the big tractor, and then we got a 3D3, and it took the big spot away, and it went to be the bale tractor, and then we went to using the Deutz that we had to cut mostly and do all the other stuff that we didn't do with the 3D3. Well, we traded it off for the 4610. It was just shot. It just wore out. I know where it's at today. A good friend of ours still has it. Still a good tractor, but it was time for us to get something different. This one here is actually I believe our third Deutz that we've owned. We owned that cab tractor, I think was the first. Then we owned another smaller tractor that was open station as well, but it was I think an early 80s, maybe late 70s model one. Somewhere in that area. It was a smaller tractor that we used to rake with a roll bar rake. It didn't have a front end loader or nothing, but this one has the Deutz Alice 456 loader on it. This tractor was built, like I said, right around the time that they swapped. It has these adjustable chain links on the back. You have this is probably the first tractor that had these in its day, with the spinnable adjustments for the height with the dual handles on it, and all the other tractors have copied it. Now, if you've ever noticed on a cab tractor Massey that they have that window that's down here so you can see, that came from these Deutz Alice tractors. Our old Deutz Alice had that in the cab, and all the new Masseys have that to this. I think Deutz still does it too, but that was part of the split design deal there. They kept that, and now it's on all their new tractors too. That's Massey Ferguson. But it is just an open station top tractor. Somebody mounted an ammo box up here for a toolbox, which I thought was pretty cool. It's actually, the toolbox is actually in a very weird spot. You pull this front grill out just like that and lean it forward, and there's your toolbox. Now these motors are air cooled. The only downside to these is I found back when we bailed with that other one, is if you didn't keep them blowed out good all the time, they would be bad to run hot. But because they were air cooled when you really got to working them hard. But for the most part, we never had that issue. I mean, we always kept it cleaned out good, and it never had that problem. Now these do have a unique PTO engagement style. You have a lever down here that's 540 and 0 that you move forward. That has to be forward, and then this is your actual PTO engagement handle. You let this down. You'd think this is the parking brake, but it's not. This is your PTO engagement. You drop it down and it eases into gear. But I always thought that handle down there was kind of pointless. But it is a high and low reverse stick on this side, and it's got a 4-speed stick on that side. Your rear spool valve, it has ones right here, 3 points, like most tractors, just raise and lower over there. Throttles here. You got a loader joystick here. Keys here. Light switch. Blinkers and all's right here. Horns push in. I think flashers are this one. You got your gauges and your light panel. Come on up here. This one is got the sticks in the center. Our old one didn't. It had them on the side. Of course, it was a cab tractor. Warning lights, water temp, fuel gauge, hours. These things never work on these. Every Deutz we've ever had, they never work. They always break. You can fix them and they'll break not long after you fix them. It's really annoying. It's one thing I never liked about a Deutz is they have that problem. This is your actual parking brake. You pull it back, lock it. And then you have your throttle on the side. Here, brakes. And then this one was top fuel. Of course, this thing was built in the 90s, so I mean that was. See, side fuel is kind of rare. Now our cab tractor was side fuel. It was an older model than this one, I believe, and it had a tank on the side. Now, that tractor was really ahead of its time. It was a 1990 Deutz Alice, and that thing had nearly all the bells and whistles these new ones have in that day, except without the electronic stuff. It had a split shifter, it had sticks on the side, high and low, reverse, and 4-speed, but you could always find the right gear in that tractor for some reason. It never failed what you're doing. You could find the right gear. It was just a real good tractor. The only thing I didn't like about it is this one's a little bit longer. It was a short couple tractor, real short, and that thing would just beat you to death. But this one seems to be a little longer frame compared to it. But the old one we had, the cab, it was short, and it just bounced going across the field on the front end, and it would beat the living tar out of you. That's one thing I do not like about these newer style tractors with these the European style, I call them. They went with the shorter compact tractors. They're little short things and they're not stretched out. The shorter tractors don't ride as well as the long stretched out tractors. Like this 383 is a longer, more stretched out tractor, and it rides a whole lot better compared to the old Deutzes that we had that were real short. Now this one here is a little different. It's I guess because it was the first of the Deutz fahr, I guess they stretched it out a little more. But like I said, you can buy this exact tractor in the AGCO version. I have seen them. They're like that. They're AGCO reddish orange, and they're branded AGCO. But yeah, the Massies were always longer, and that's one reason why we like them, because they rode good. Now they've gotten to where they're a little more shorter than I'd like them to be. You have to get in the 6700 range to get a long frame tractor, which I like. I hate a short frame tractor just because of the ride. But that's it. It's just 2-wheel drive. I mean, it's not really anything fancy. They are actually one of the first to have this. They had the lines right here where you didn't have to run them back behind the tractor like this one. On this 383, you have to run the lines up and underneath the cab and back over the top of the axle and plug them in from the back. This one, you just plug them in right here on the valve body at the front of the tractor. They actually were one of the first ones that did that too. This is a quick on lower motor, and there's their little sticker. Not too fancy, it's just a beat up tractor. It's one we don't really care if we skin up. But thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, give me a big thumbs up.